530 Grid. Hi, this is Mark Borsman again. Like, cool, isn't it? Like each lesson, it's like, wow, how do you go through, all of this? Today we're going to be talking about the prospect rescue. A little overwhelming almost, really. This came from many years ago. And when I was actually in the mortgage industry working with real estate professionals and CPAs and financial planners and others, if we have 10 leads, if you have 10 leads, a lead being a name and a phone number, from all the different lead sources you get, how many of those would convert? The average in most industries is 1 out of 10. Now let's say that you're twice as good as the average in the industry. That means you're 2 out of 10. High five, pat on the back. Let's celebrate, because we're twice as good as the average in the industry. But we're only getting paid on 20% of the work. 80% of the work we're doing, we're not getting paid on. So if you don't have it written down right now, write down, what's your WOW income goal? My WOW income goal over the next 12 months. What would be something that would absolutely just totally rock your life, just totally excite you, just inspire you, motivate you, like, whoa, 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 this is exciting. Write that down. How many hours are you currently working a week? Write that down. Let's say our WOW income goal is $500,000. Let's say that, I'm working 60 hours a week and I want to work 30 hours a week. Now, if we're only converting 2 out of 10 leads, there's no way we're going to get to $500,000 and working 30 hours a week, right? I mean, that's not efficient. So the individual that is showing you this today, introduce you to the prospect rescue, they've spent a lot of time and resources building out what's called the 530 Grid. It's absolutely magical in what it's able to do. And the prospect rescue is taking those 8 or 9 leads that we're not making money on. We're spending time, spending money, spending resources. But what's worse than a lead who says no? A lead who says, maybe I'll do it in the future, I'm not really sure. Why? Because we continue to spend valuable time and resources on it. And so it would be better if we didn't even generate that lead in the first place unless we have a system in place to do a prospect rescue. Now, the individual who shared this with you understands this is the magic seed. What you're seeing right up on the screen now is the magic seed system. It's box 12. Take your successes and feeding those successes back into marketing, pre-sales, sales, servicing, and client for life. So there's 5 areas in the 530 Grid. It's like a pipeline with 5 pipes. We're only as strong as our smallest pipe. So if we have, you can think of it, where your marketing pipe, you generate 10 leads, like there's 10 gallons of water going through the pipe, and you only, at the other end, you only get 2 gallons. Not the most efficient pipe. You have a lot of leaks in it. And that's where this lesson will help us to be able to understand. Now, there's a more comprehensive lesson. You can participate in the mastermind groups. Individuals that are on Action Vision actually have tools and systems and specialized training and resources, a lot of cool things. So plug into them. They can help you. In the prospect rescue, what you're looking at doing is box 13 is looking at why prospects are lost. It's called in the DNA for life, the 500 plus natural laws. It's called the Army Casualty Principle. The Army Casualty Principle is when in the Army, my understanding is when somebody dies on the battlefield, they research that. Why? Well, that person's already dead. Yes, to prevent other deaths. But in business, when we're losing 8 or 9 prospects out of 10, we're not doing research on it. Or if we're doing it wrong. Ideally, you'd have an executive virtual assistant, EVA, doing research. If you're doing it, often the customer won't give you the truth because they don't want to hurt your feelings or whatever. The prospect won't give you the truth. And so if it's somebody outside of your organization doing research on behalf, you're more likely to get the truth. And we don't actually want the truth. You're too abrupt, you're too sharp, you didn't follow up. And so often the prospect senses that, so they're not going to tell us the truth. Well, if we don't know the truth on why a prospect died, we obviously can't fix that. Then what we do is we find out why that prospect died. So it might be because they perceive our prices were too high. It might be because we weren't proactive. It might be because they didn't like the tone of our voice, or they didn't like our personality, or they didn't like how we were. There could be a million different reasons, but there's typically, when you start researching this, or better yet, have an executive virtual assistant research it for you, there's typically 3 to 5 major reasons why we lose leads. You're going to see 100 maybe if you research 100 different ones, but predominantly they're going to fit into 3 to 5 categories. Of those 3 to 5 categories, one of them probably will be the one that we're losing 80% of the leads on, 80% of the prospects. What we then do is then we go into box 12, into our current servicing, our current clients, and find somebody that had a similar experience, except they didn't die, they survived. So somebody who might have thought they're too expensive, they're priced too high. And so it's the feel, felt, found method. I know how you feel. Other customers have known how you feel. This is what they felt. They felt it was too high. They didn't want to do it. But they moved forward and found that the little extra in price was far beneficial. This is actually, you can actually take a seed reproduction. This is advanced, like a 3rd degree or 7th degree black belt ninja move on this. If you lose a prospect and they go with somebody else because of the price or because of anything, and then they get shafted from a competitor, you can take that success story or somebody else's failure story and feed that back into your system. Like, there's so much here that it's impossible to go over in just a few minutes and being able to go through it. And then you get into the personalities and a number of different pieces. So talk to your Action Vision lead coach, your coaching team, individuals that specialize in the prospect rescue, in finding out why prospects are lost, and then being able to find success stories to overcome it, to be proactive, prevent that from ever happening. Another technique that you can use is in the profitable partnership, you can have third-party triangulation selling. That's a mouthful, but third-party triangulation selling. This is where you have 3 or 4 other professionals around you where you're cross-selling them and they're cross-selling you. So you have 2 other professionals. So let's say that you're a realtor, and you might have a financial planner, a CPA, and a mortgage professional. And this will work with any industry. It doesn't matter, what industry you're in. Find other people that are also vendors to the same or looking at attracting the same type of clients. Partner up with them. You help them. They help you. And so in looking at why prospects are lost, you go through and you can identify that. Now, each of these, this is not just true for Area 3, why prospects are lost, but there's what's called a leaky pipe system. So talk with your Action Vision coach on that, and you can plug that in. And so if you have a leaky pipe in marketing, pre-sale, sales, servicing, client for life, relationship for life, there's even a leaky pipe for leadership. There's leaky pipe for profitable partnerships. If you're doing work and you're not getting the results that you think you should, the reason you feel that way is probably because you're not. And so in being able to go through this and understand this has much broader application than just a prospect rescue system. I mean, it helps in every area. If you have any questions on anything we covered today, connect with the individual who invited you to participate, or you can call toll-free 888-230-2300. That's 888-230-2300. And always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.